This podcast was a product of the SWW show. You can find more at the swwshow.com or facebook.com/the SWW store or twitter.com/SWW. You can find out more about Mike at Mikey_Maroney on Twitter and more about AJ at Losivor on Twitter. Remember, new episodes come out twice a month, one focusing on the new entertainment news and one focusing on movie club, so new and an old movie. You can find out more again at the swwshow.com, and you can find the show on podcast services around the globe. Hello everyone and welcome to a very special episode of the SWW show. I'm Mike. This here is not AJ, because you can tell by his nice fancy accent. Can you tell me what your name is and where you're from?
Certainly. My name is Matthew Vecchio. I'm from Ready Wolf and I'm an indie developer.
So I'm going to start with the accent, obvious thing in the room. Australia?
Yeah, I'm from Australia, mate.
So I like the mate at the end of it. I guess I have to say y'all at the end so you understand I'm from America, just so you have a better picture of it.
Yeah, I was confused until you did that, so thank you very much.
So I'm going to ask the thing of slowly learning my Australian geography since I've introduced a surprising amount of Australians on this.
Yeah.
Are you in the inhabitable half? Explain to me this Australia thing.
Okay, so I'm in South Australia, which is basically central Australia, but then you just go all the right round to the bottom. So in South Australia is known for being the driest state in the driest continent. That's our claim to fame.
So do you know what rain looks like?
Sometimes I know what rain looks like, but I have never experienced snow. I've never seen snow in my life.
Really? That's my next thing. So has it ever been cold enough to snow?
Not where I live. Sometimes more eastern, you can get snow, but in South Australia, it never snows.
Wow. Fascinating.
Yeah, exactly. And we get heat waves, so we can have. We use a different temperature. We use Celsius, but it can go up to over 40 degrees for 3 or 4 days, and so we get heat waves instead. So, heat waves and bushfires.
Okay, yeah. So 40 degrees Celsius for all Americans is 104 degrees Fahrenheit, which, to put in perspective, we say to hide your elderly inside when it hits 85. So okay. It's pretty hot for us too.
It's about the same heat as a microwave, being inside a microwave, I believe.
That should just be on the way to inside your town. It should be welcome. We're as hot as the inside of your microwave.
It should be. I'm trying to get it done. I'm trying to get SA tourism to pick it up, but
okay. So besides you being great for getting tourists to your town, you make games. So,
yes, I make games, and I also mostly during the day I actually make holographic games. So I actually
I'm gonna holographic games.
Yeah, so this is probably I'm better known for. I work with a company in Australia called Voxon Photonics, and we make a volumetric display which kind of looks a bit like a hologram, like in Star Wars.
Okay.
And so my day job is actually making holographic games in true 3D. Yeah.
Oh, that's fascinating. So I do a lot of VR work, so I usually get to amaze people, but you've already amazed me. I love the idea. So how close are we to the things where people are just in front of us and it looks like it's the digital meeting?
Basically, yeah. At the moment, we can do holograms. We're the only technology in Australia that can do it. I know this is a bit of a sideways talk because we're meant to be talking about beautiful bricks, but at the moment, the size of our holograms are only about 12 centimeters tall and about 15 centimeters wide.
Oh, so it's not like I have a life-size person in front of me I just want to go poke?
No, you can have a life-size hand in front of you or foot.
That'd be the most disturbing meeting in the world.
We can do holographic calls, though we have done. We did one earlier this year with the BBC in London, and we called up. Yeah, they did a call from Australia to London, and I'm sure if you Google that, you'll be able to find that footage of doing a volumetric call.
So, one more question, and then we'll get to your thing of making indie games.
Yeah, sure.
The British Queen is your queen still, right?
Currently, yes.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify. Again, I'm from America. You're literally the opposite side. Like, I'm talking to you in the future, right? No. It's
I'm in
weird.
the future.
Right, you're in the future right now by a substantial margin where time changes. And also, you're in a weird time zone where, like, you're in
Yep.
that 30-minute time zone, which does not exist in America.
Yeah, it's strange. Yeah, I'm aware of it.
Like, I had to be like, when you said the time, I was like, okay. And then also I was like, wait a second. That's not what I thought it was.
And it's also daylight savings here. So at the moment where I'm 10 and a half hours ahead of you, but in 6 months' time, I'm only going to be 9.5 hours ahead.
Oh, so no, we have daylight savings. Oh, okay, that's just weird.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens. I'm not sure.
Great. Okay, so you make holographic games by day, but by night
Yes.
you go by Ready Wolf,
Yeah.
and you make
And I'm
Beautiful Bricks is the name of the game currently.
Yes, that's right. I make a lot of. My goal was to make games that are kind of retro, but kind of modernizing them for a new audience and try to reinvent those genres, and still kind of keep them retro at heart, but put a few more twists on them to make them exciting today.
So, looking at Beautiful Brick, I think the best way to describe it, it's a Pong meets Breakout, probably.
Yeah, it's kind of like the ultimate brick breaker. So it's really inspired by a game called Arkanoid, which is an arcade version of a brick breaker. But I've put a few twists on it. For instance, it's 4 players at once, and the physics system of the balls behaves a lot more like pinball. So the balls all have gravity. You've got a lot more ball control, so you can hard or soft hit the ball. There's a ridiculous amount of power-ups. There's boss battles. It's really over-engineered. It's a real labour of love, and there is so much in this game. And I hope people discover the secrets. Yeah.
So then let's start with the simple question then. So this game, I know it's co-op. Is it also competitive too? Or did I flip that?
Yep. You can play a versus mode where you basically go into a split screen, and then you've got like a bit like if you ever played Dr. Mario or Tetris competitively.
So you're both just playing the game simultaneously more than anything else.
Yeah, and it's a race to see who can knock out, clear the wave. You can also play a volleyball mode as well, just for fun as well.
So that's what I was gonna ask, because in my head, obviously one of the easy way to do it, if you wanted to be make yourself feel real smart, but is the easy way is each of you just have a row of bricks and you try to knock out the other person's first.
Yeah. I mean, there is some other paddle games that have a competitive mode where you would be on either side. And there's also that old game called Warlords. I would like to make a mode like that one day, but it just didn't come up with this game.
So then let's jump into more of the big thing is, so it's co-op and you do stuff like you go through levels and play boss fights. I kind of want to start with, how did you come up with like what bosses make sense and like the idea of like facing the boss versus dying and stuff like that?
Well, first of all, the bosses, I think games have to have boss characters, and I think the boss characters in my game, I've got 15 of them, and they really provide a lot of personality to the game and help tell the story, because if you think about a brick breaker game, really it's a bunch of bricks and a paddle and a bowl, so there's not much chance to tell a story. So the way that I give the game personality is through these boss characters. And the inspiration for them, I think it just became sporadically. I mean, there's a big skull man called Skullman. There's some ghosts, which are inspired a bit from the ghosts in Pac-Man. There's like a few demons. There's a godlike character that creates all the bricks called the generator. There's all sorts of they all link into the game in some way. It's never fully explained, but I know the backstory, and some of that will shine through in the game, I think.
See, and that's always why I love and I think that's a great method of design there too, is the person making it knowing the backstory and just like, well, it just is there. It's like the tip of the iceberg, but like you need that iceberg for it to make sense.
Yeah, I think I learned that from drama class, that if you've ever done any acting, when you create a character, you know your character's backstory and you create all the reasons of how your character exists. It might never come out in your performance, but as long as you, the actor, knows it, you sort of show those parts when they're needed. And so it's kind of more of a subconscious thought. And, if I ever write a book about the game, or if there's future versions of the game or sequels, then some of that lore would come out. And I think a lot of game designers kind of do the same thing.
So maybe that's a good thing. And so your game is, at the time we're recording this, around a week out, we'll say?
Yes. It was about 3.5 years of work on and off. And I released it, I think, on the 6th of November.
Yeah.
It's been about a week out, yeah.
So I'm curious then, now that it's even like leading up right before then too, obviously you start handing it to more people. What is there something that has really surprised you as you've given this to more masses of people?
I love it that they get it. They get that it's more than a Brick Breaker clone, and they understand that it's got a lot of unique features. And I think the best thing that I've seen is, the most surprising thing is, I watched a video of someone play the game with no arms and only using their chin, and that was probably the most interesting thing that I've seen a user pick up, because I never thought, hey, could you play the game with just your chin? But they did it really well as well. So.
Oh yeah, no, there are the people who could do stuff like that just amaze me, because I'm like, I have trouble playing games using with having my hands and arms, and so without them, I'm like, I couldn't play them at all. So.
Yeah. This person, I've watched a few other people play the game first, and this person still has played it one of the best that I've seen. He's picked it up really well. So
nice. Is there anything maybe after this past watching a bit too that you're like, ooh, maybe that wasn't the right decision, or are you going to go back and change stuff, or do you feel that you released a really strong product in that way?
I tested the game for a long time. It was a long development cycle, and it's. I think the snags with the game is that it is a little bit hard. It does have that old school difficulty. So you might find a lot of players that aren't used to hardcore old school gaming to find it a bit too hard. So perhaps I need to put a very, very easy mode in the game. And I don't have any regrets with development. It's more I should have done some more marketing and telling the story leading up to the game. So I really should have kept the media and the constant social posts about it, 3 years ago, rather than developing it in my bedroom and sort of releasing it suddenly.
So, yeah, I could picture it. So you should just, for the sequel, you should do one of those things of on your Twitter account, you do the thing of you just release one brick a day leading up to a secret message in the bricks of a
yeah, stuff like that. For me, as a solo developer, I think a lot of people that are creative, they don't like the marketing side or the media side of talking about it. They just want to create. But I think if you want your game to have massive sales and a massive following, you have to sort of devote your time to 50-50, unfortunately, in this climate. So.
Yeah, because, and this is what people don't talk about too, it doesn't matter how great your game is if no one has ever heard of it, which is the most upsetting thing to say people. Be like, someone has to talk about the game, and when it's just you, that someone has to be you.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I think it's, you've got to think of indie game development as a bit of a gold rush. It's a modern gold rush, and a lot of the gold's been found, and there's so many people panning for gold, so to speak, that, on Steam, the stats are that 40 games get released in a day on average. So everybody's trying to do something to cut through.
So actually,
And yeah.
I'm curious then. So like with that Steam mentality of like there are so many games on Steam at any given moment, how did you decide when was the right time for this?
I didn't really. I picked a date. I originally was going to in July because it was ready, and I moved house, and at work I'm working on this really big project, and I had a few other life things get in the way, so I had to push it forward, and then the date really snuck up on me. So if for anybody listening out there, this I'm the example of a true kind of developer that sort of doesn't think too much about the outside marketing. I'm sort of learning about it now, but I'm something that you can learn from my mistakes, so to speak. I mean, I think if you want to do it properly, you would want to have sort of a 6-month sort of plan where you make up your contact list and you sort of plan and launch and try to get your wish lists up and that sort of stuff. But, I'm doing it ad hoc and it's still doing pretty good, so.
So are you, in the best way of saying it, content with the amount of sales and eyes on the game so far, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I am a retro. Time doesn't really exist for retro gamers because a good game is a good game. And I think as long as you make a game that is unique and has something new to say about a genre, in my heart, it's timeless. So I think it's going to be more of a sleeper hit. So in 5 years' time, people are still going to be enjoying this title. And that's kind of, I'm playing the long game. And yeah.
So what you're saying is, okay, now it's Steam. 2 years from now, it's Switch, and there's your 5-year time cycle. You're perfect.
Yeah, but I want to put it on Switch. Actually, just doing ports to Linux and Mac actually is quite good as well. And just constantly maintain the product, and then when you make other games that are related to the title, users are going to become a fan of your development company, and then check out your other titles. So think about it how a music artist works is that you might have an album, and then when a new album comes out, your old album sales increase as well. So it's very much I just believe in making quality games,
Nice. Perfect. Well, I got to play Beautiful Bricks a bit, and honestly, I had a ton of fun with it. It is very much you said though, it is kind of hard, I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, it is. I mean, currently I can say that I'm the best player in the world, and I can't even beat it on the hardest difficulty.
So I can't tell if that's a good thing or a bad thing from a balance point of view. Like, if you're like, I can't beat it.
No, I know how good some people can get at games, and I think with more practice, I can get there as well. But yeah, it is a game like it does take practice to get good at it, and that's the sort of games that I like. I like games that are, well, this game maybe is not so easy to pick up, but it's relatively easy to pick up, but very hard to master. And I like that skill building. That's an arcade game,
Yeah. So the next thing you're telling me is get this thing on an arcade machine.
Yes, I have experience building arcade machines, and I've actually always thought about this game being on a arcade cabinet. So it does use a credit-based system. It does have high scores similarly. I'm actually developing that. I'm building that. I'm also building paddle controls. Ooh. So I've got some friends that are more into electronics. So we are building the actual analog paddle controls, which will give you a lot more precision with moving. And it's the way these games are meant to be played. So
nice, perfect. Well, I'm excited to keep an eye out if you ever do anything with that. Matt, I want to thank you for joining me for this fun discussion. You were saying?
I was going to say, with the arcade unit, hopefully within the year I can get something out, but I don't know if I can get it to the States. I think it will be more shown in Australia, unfortunately. You're welcome to come down.
See, but you described the heat to me, and so I live in Florida, which is like one of the hot parts of America, but still not that hot.
Yeah.
Like right now it is like 40 degrees in Fahrenheit, which if I did my math right, I think is like 3 or 4 in Celsius. So like I'll put it in perspective of like we get a winter here still.
That's amazing. I don't think I've, even on a cold winter night, we would say when something is about 5 degrees Celsius is cold. That's free. We would describe that as freezing. Of course, freezing is below 0 Celsius, but.
See, and I just had to eyeball that math, so I'm like, I think that's about right. But I know the formula in my head is just when you get to big numbers, I'm like, I got no clue.
So that's amazing. So do you have a little calculator right next to you? Is that how you're working it out?
No, so it's, if I remember right, it's 9/5 plus 32 is how you get to Fahrenheit from Celsius, so you flip it.
Yeah.
So like I just kind of I eyeball it of like cut it in half, add a minus 32, and I know I'm within a couple points when I deal with small numbers.
Is it a formula that Americans have to know? Like, do you encounter a lot of people talking about Celsius? Because I rarely hear Fahrenheit.
It's because all science is still in Celsius. So we have to know that for like any science class, so at like grade school and stuff.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
It's like how like the only reason we know what like centimeters are is because of science classes. Otherwise, we have no clue what those things are.
Well, I think you guys decided to change, you know?
I get it. You kept the queen. We got rid of the queen. We came up with our own measurement system. I understand.
You know.
Let me just tell you though, having no queen works real great. Just you try it sometime.
It's not up to me, I mean.
It's not up to you.
We did actually in 1996, we did have a vote. Australians did have a vote to be independent, and the majority voted no. So we had that decision, but yeah, it didn't go through.
Which is so great considering how far you actually have been. All of them are like, I really don't care. Like, it doesn't affect me.
Yeah, I mean, we get one day a year off. We get like the Queen's birthday off.
So it's perfect.
Yeah. I mean, let's keep those ties for that. And the other thing is, yeah, our money does have the Queen's face on it. So.
See, yeah, that'd be real awkward if you got rid of it. Then you're like, okay, we need a new person's face. Does anyone have any ideas?
We have a competition.
See, that would be a great game show. Let me tell you. Game show.
Yeah. Who wants to be on the dollar?
Perfect. Well, Matt, thanks for joining me for this fun discussion. Where can people find your game? You on social media if you want people to find you, all that fun stuff?
Yeah, sure. So I'm on Twitter as Ready Wolf Dev, as one word. And you can also find Beautiful Bricks on Steam. Just search Beautiful Bricks. You can also go to my website, which is www.readywolf.com. You can play an online version of the game there as well. I do have an Instagram as well, which is the same thing. And yeah, I'm sure if you do some Googles for Ready Wolf, I'll come up.
Perfect. Well, again, thanks for joining me. Again, game's real fun from my play of it. I'll probably play it some more, but it's a good time, and people should go check it out.
Beautiful. Thank you for playing.
Perfect.
And thank you for allowing me to be on this podcast as well.
Perfect.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special SWW segment. It's me, AJ. With me today, I have Ryan from Simtonero Games, who just launched Bolf, which I must say, SEO on point there, because it's probably the only thing named Bolf.
Actually, I can't totally take credit for the word. There's been a whole bunch of different golf mashups over the years that people have called Bolf. So
let's see. If
we
we just
Google it, you'll find all kinds of fun variations on the theme.
You are the second result on Google.
Hey, that's something.
Apparently, there's a clothing line called Bolf.
There is, but I was pretty confident that nobody would confuse the two products.
It appears to be Belgian.
Oh, I didn't know it was Belgian, though.
Or, I don't know, it just defaulted to Belgian.
I think it's a last name, also. I think it might be,
Okay.
Maybe it's a Belgian last name.
It looks interesting. Much the same way that I can describe Bolf the game. It's interesting, but in a good way. It seems to me like, in a weird way, the past, I don't know, 5 years, we've seen these gimmick golf games, but in a good, like, gimmick in a good way. Like,
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
what is it? Golf with Friends.
Well, there's a whole bunch on VR.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know there's a VR one that I have. It's called like, open the Vive folder, Cloudlands. VR mini golf. That one's, yeah. There's a bunch of those, and it's like, okay, I like this, like, because I mean, really, the last golf game was that horrendous Rory McIlroy golf game.
No, I didn't play that one.
Frostbite, I think it was.
Well, and there are obviously a bunch of more traditional golf sims, but you can tell quickly that's not exactly what I'm shooting for.
What is it? The Golf Club. I've always looked at that and been like, okay, this actually looks really interesting. What happens when you create basically, like, because I'm really into like sim racers. So what happens when you take like Project Cars and turn that to golf?
Right.
And that's the Golf Club. And I'm like, okay. But,
well, and Bolf is a little more aimed at people, certainly people who dig golf, but I'm wagering there's a bunch of people who also enjoy golf video games more than the real world sport.
Oh, I'm 100% in that category. I'm horrendous at golf, but I will play a golf video game.
I'm pretty bad as well, and I haven't played a full round in a while, but I'm worst at putting, which is actually kind of where the idea came from, because whenever I get on the green, I always end up chasing the ball around. Like, no matter how well I've done up to that point, I rack up a bunch of strokes, just on the green because I'm really bad at putting. So that's basically the genesis of Bolf, was trying to make putting kind of speedier and changing the short game.
Well, it's definitely an interesting take on it, because all of a sudden you go from hitting a bowling ball to bowling.
Right.
And I must say, I like that you stuck with bowling rules of you get 2 shots.
Right. That's, like I just mentioned, I kind of hate being punished for my terrible green reading skills in the short game. So that makes a round of golf like way snappier, at least for me. Like, if you're an amazing 2-putter when you play golf, then maybe that's not a complaint you have, and maybe you're not as interested in the twist at the end there. But yeah, it keeps the game moving.
Definitely. I do like also how you have an area that is effectively the green, that as long as you make contact with it, you're good.
Yeah, you get once you land on, I call it a lane, but it's circular, right? But once you land on it, what used to be the green, you're locked into bowling mode, rather than initially I messed with different variations. Like, if the ball rolled off, you would have to chip back on, but that was zero fun. So yeah, you kind of shift over into bowling mode as long as you make contact with it. And again, it's clearly, you can kind of tell by looking, it's meant to be a little more casual. Like, there's still some golf sim elements. You have to pick the right club, and you have to be careful of your swing and everything, but it's supposed to be a little more laid back experience. So I didn't want, I bowled off the green and now I have to chip back on, and then bowled off again and I chip back on again.
Yeah. I will say the first hole that I played, I kind of mashed through the tutorial, because that's kind of how I play games.
Sure.
I learn by doing. And I hit like 2 shots in a row with the driver, and then all of a sudden I'm like 50 yards from the hole. Don't realize that it doesn't automatically switch clubs.
Right.
And I just hammer it, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, since it's only been out in the wild a day, but I've already watched some streams, and people are actually deliberately using the drivers closer to the hole in a way that I didn't really anticipate, because the arc is lower. You can actually hit some pins on your approach.
Yeah, I did do that with a 9-iron. I took like 6 of them out at once. I'm like, oh, I didn't think you would actually account for this. Like,
well, and you actually get more points if you hit pins on the approach. So it's a way of encouraging you to actually, without that, the lane is a really big target and be relatively easy to hit. So that gives you an incentive to actually try to be accurate with your approach, because you'll get more points, and then you'll still have 2 bowls to try to clean up the rest.
Yeah, because I've definitely seen bigger games where there's clearly an objective that you can reach, and if you were able to, like in this instance, hit a pin on the approach, like I've seen games that just don't account for that.
Right.
A lot of them are racing games, because some people don't account for weird track limits, and all of a sudden you see like the best time on a lap is 30 seconds faster than anything anybody's ever done, because somebody found a way to cut the corner.
Right, and it didn't
account for that.
It went off track. Right.
Yeah. Whereas this is kind of in the opposite direction of you can hit stuff before you're kind of supposed to.
Well, and the thinking is also that, in traditional golf, you can actually get in the hole on your approach shot. It's really difficult, but it's possible. So in Bolf, it's actually possible to get a strike on your approach before you ever bowl. It's hard. But I wanted there to be the equivalent of a hole-in-one,
Yeah, that seems to be the white whale.
Right.
Get a strike on the approach.
Right. I've done it myself, but I've played the game kind of a lot.
Yeah, I bet you have a home field advantage in that situation.
Right.
I will say, though, with the unique way of how you swing, the way I hold a mouse totally messes me up, because I kind of hold it at, not only like is it angled off, but I then hold it at like an acute angle anyway.
Right.
So my forward movement is inherently a little askew.
You've got a little arc to it, or a little off center.
Yeah. So I had to like learn how to compensate for that, of like, oh, I gotta really like hook into this shot, because my normal mouse path is a fade.
Right.
And
Not
so
exactly straight up.
I need to draw into it to straighten it out.
If you so in the game there are stats that you get awarded experience points, and at this moment, with only one course, obviously you're probably not going to rack up a ton of experience points. You're probably going to play the course a few times, but you can build up stats that will straighten out your shot, make it much easier to land a straight shot, even if you've got a little curve in your wrist. But I didn't want to make it too easy. Like, the intention is that you'll definitely do exactly what you did, which is think about your mouse movement. And the intention always, I think, with most games, is to have something that rewards practice and improvement.
Yeah, after the first course, I definitely went full control. All the experience that I had from finishing the course the first time, I went full control, because I'm like, when I get a chance to play this again, I'm probably going to forget that I have a natural fade to my shot, so let's make that a little easier.
Right. And it's playable on gamepad, and it's interesting. You end up finding out the sort of same things about the way you hold a gamepad that you do with the mouse.
Oh, yeah, I have a weird stroke to the sticks with a gamepad. I'm all over the place.
Yeah, I do as well. And at first, I honestly did a lot of troubleshooting, thinking that something must have been wrong with my gamepad input, because I was always a little left of center. And it turns out the game was accurate. It's how I was holding the gamepad. But I find that sort of thing, as long as it's not to the point of terrible frustration where you don't feel like you could possibly improve, I think a little bit of that is good. You're obviously always balancing frustration with, opportunity to get better, because it's rewarding if you feel like you can actually master something and get better at it, rather than just have it handed to you.
Yeah. I will say the one game where I figured out that I have a weird stick draw is Skate. I think it was 3.
Mm-hmm.
and they showed you the way that the stick moved, and mine was jagged all over the place because I don't naturally go in a straight motion, so I was trying to correct myself into a straight motion.
Right, and there's a lot of straight up and down flicks in that, right?
Yeah. EA needs to make a Skate 4, but that's beside the point.
Well, there's a new skating sim on Steam I haven't tried.
Session?
Is that it? The name is Lumen.
Well,
right?
there's Session, and then there's one other one, and I don't want to say the same thing, but they're kind of the same thing.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out. I know one released recently, and it looked like it had sort of that gesture-based input from Skate.
Session is like a super hardcore sim with like, depending on how far you flick the right stick in a direction, like if you go a quarter turn, that's one trick. If you go like an eighth turn, that's something completely different. So it's kind of that same idea, but yeah. I will say though, Bolf, it appears to be like a nice relaxing, hey, I have half an hour to kill. Well, I can't get into Destiny or Red Dead because half an hour would take, loading the games alone would take 15 minutes.
Well, I'm glad I'm honestly glad you picked that up from it because it's pretty deliberate. The even in the aesthetic, like I know it's tuned people on realistic background, which isn't always a strong aesthetic. And I actually experimented with like tuned terrains and toonier looking landscapes, but it robbed it of that kind of chill Zen vibe.
Honestly, I at least from my point of view, I don't care. Like,
right.
If I'm playing a game just to relax, I don't care.
Well, and I think there's a lot of subconscious stuff going on because the intention definitely is to make a game you can zen out to. Although I do want to make some of the later courses a little more challenging because some people are more, interested in mastering it and the challenge of it. But like nature sound effects and trees softly swaying in the breeze is a nice way to spend a half hour.
Definitely. The relaxing nature, because I live in Michigan. Currently it's like 38 degrees and just nasty outside. Right. But when summer comes around, that's what this is. Just you hear the breeze. We have a constant breeze in the summer, and you just hear the leaves rustling. And those like June nights when it's late or light out until like 9 o'clock, and you can just relax. And
right.
This
now there will eventually
be. To that.
Oh, go on.
It just harkens back to that time of just relaxation.
Exactly.
Instead of being just in crappy weather.
Right. The plan in early access is to create 3 additional courses, and they probably won't all have that vibe. The initial course is sort of a statement of intent, and that's a lot what you took away from it. That this should be kind of a relaxing experience, and that there's a challenge to it, but that it's not going to demand your focus for the next 5 hours.
Yeah.
But to liven things up for people who do want to revisit it from time to time, a couple of the courses will probably be a little more demanding, have a little bit more going on, but hopefully still kind of have that chill vibe.
Yeah, and that's much like real golf. I mean, you can go to an easy course that's close by and just relax. And I was going to say have fun, but you're playing golf, so inherently that turns into hating yourself.
That's exactly right.
Or you can go play a challenging course and hate yourself from the beginning. I will say though, Bolf is going to be like my game for the at least foreseeable future of, hey, I just need to kill 20 minutes because I'm waiting on something, one thing or another, and I have 20 minutes to kill.
Well, cool. That's
let me hop into Bolf.
That's also why I made sure to put 9-hole options, so you don't feel like you have to actually progress through all 18 holes in a sitting.
Yeah.
9 holes is now I've been playing it a bunch, so I play through it pretty quickly, but 9 holes seems to sit right around that 20 to 30 minute mark, kind of depending on how much time you're taking to set up your shots, which is a good, exactly like you said, like I don't really have time to sink myself into an epic role-playing game right now.
I'm in a weird way saving my time for April for when Cyberpunk comes out, and it's like, well, here's the next 4 months.
Right. If it's anywhere as time consuming as The Witcher 3, I'm gonna have to set aside some time for it as well.
Definitely. All right, Ryan. Well, it's been fun.
Yeah, thank you very much for the call. I appreciate it.
Much like the game, very fun interview, very fun game.
Thank
Bolf is on Steam. It's in early access. It's out. I'm glad we did the interview after it came out because I was thinking, oh, hey, I'm gonna have to figure out when the release date is.
Right, you are.
But yeah, go check it out. It's currently on sale. It's like 15% off, I think. Yeah, 15% off. It's currently $12.75 until the 26th. So, and then it goes up to 15. The perfect amount, $15. Just
right. Nice round number.
Yep. And it's low enough to be like, you know what? Yeah, $15.
Well, and admittedly, pricing is difficult in early access because you're pricing for the content that's there, but you're also pricing for the final product, the value that you hope is there in the final product. So hopefully people see the potential, and as more courses are added, I'm hoping that'll seem like a good value.
Definitely. I'll tell you what, even if it went up to $30, I would say with what you said you want to add, it's still a good value. So go ahead and check it out. Bolf from Simtonero. It's at Simtonero on Twitter. As you said before we started, you've had Twitter for approximately 2 weeks.
Right.
So probably not a lot up there in terms of content, but I'm sure if
not a ton of content, but I'll use Twitter basically to drop screenshots of in development courses. I'll of course update Steam as well, but for anyone who kind of wants to see the game evolve in real time, Twitter's probably going to be a good place for that.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you so much.